So there are many ways that this XRP price action can happen. I'm not really going to be editing this video very much because this is kind of just thoughts coming out of my mind. And I want to get my point across by basically talking about how I think this XRP price is going to move based on when regulation comes, what to do when regulation comes, all the options that everyone has. And yes, you have options. Just because my thought process is that I'm going to be holding on to XRP forever and never selling, doesn't mean that has to be your plan. And it could be in some instances that doing that plan that I have planned is maybe not the ideal situation. So I'm going to talk about a few different outcomes that can happen in terms of price action. Maybe what the best exit strategies would be if you're going to have an exit strategy or you're going to hold on or whatever it is. And maybe we can explore this idea together. And I would love to see in the comments to see where you stand on all of this, which kind of strategy you want to implement, or do you know yet? I mean, it's really, really difficult. And so the first thing I want to kind of talk about are the eventualities of the price action, right? One price action that we could be looking at is God candle territory, okay? I think God candle territory is the easiest one to navigate out of all of this, okay? I'm going to explain what a God candle is for anyone who doesn't know. So a God candle comes out of nowhere and just goes straight up to the number that, I know there are rumors about a price being set already. Certain people said those things even on my podcast that maybe they shouldn't have been saying, but honest mistakes. But this is essentially where the price goes up to the level where it needs to go to be able to facilitate the transactions based on calculations that have already been done by the players that control the world. They're puppeteering the whole world, right? So that would be, for example, the price going immediately up to $500, $10,000. Who knows? No one knows that number. But if the price has been discussed and there is a set number that they want to set an XRP at, then it would just go straight to that point. Essentially, everyone who holds the tokens at that point gets mega rich and it gets delisted off all exchanges and you won't be able to use it. The great thing about this situation, about the God candle, is that it gives no one the opportunity to sell early, right? It just goes immediately to where it needs to go. The sell orders are all triggered for those who have sell orders, which maybe this would be negative in that instance. Maybe it would breeze past it and wouldn't get filled. Who knows? But this is the easiest one to navigate because you simply understand by the way all the research that we've done, the price needs to be set in order for retail CBDCs to happen. Okay, we talked about this in a video at length a couple of days ago, so make sure you go over to the top right of the screen and actually watch that video. It was actually one of my more important videos I've ever made, but I think it went under the radar for that. But essentially, we know we need the price action for the world reserve currency. We need to know it has to essentially be stable by the time retail CBDCs exist. Why? Because the retail CBDCs are going to be paired with a cash version. And that £10 or $10 in CBDC, in retail CBDC, needs to be exactly $10 or £10 in cash, and it needs to remain stable. So understanding that we need it to be stable by the time retail CBDCs come out means wholesale CBDCs have to have gone to a stable place beforehand. And we're looking at 2025 to 2029 for retail CBDCs to be stable. So before then, wholesale CBDCs that are essentially run by a reserve currency that we believe is XRP, the XRP price has to be stable. And so knowing that, we know that a God candle will just go straight up to where it needed to be so it would be stable. And then the retail CBDCs can come in, the government can say they've saved the day and all of that. That is the easiest option because now you can take your stable priced XRP without a single worry that it's going to go down because it's now stable and being used for CBDCs for countries, and they're not going to let it be fluctuating or volatile. It has to be stable. You're now going to take those assets into a bank that has custody. You can give it to them and get an interest yield, and you've basically secured the rest of your life, earning mega money for the rest of your life purely because of the assets that you hold. Best case scenario, no choice about it. You can't even sell. It just goes to where it needs to go and you're in. That's obviously the easiest one. So I'm not a no selling XRP kind of guy because I believe in a God candle. It's not really that. the idea of settling on I'm not selling is easier for me to navigate the ups and downs of the market, because if I'm firm on one outcome, then that's just the outcome I'm going to go for. I'm not going to be worried about these ups and downs. However, it starts getting a little bit difficult to navigate the ups and downs if this happens. For example, we see the court case resolve, right? Court case resolves, the price of an XRP goes to all-time high. Let's say it goes to $4 straight after the court case gets resolved, and it's in Ripple's favor. This causes massive FOMO. FOMO in the market, everyone's buying because they think now's the time to buy, right? The price goes skyrocketing. And all of these people that are not selling, the heart starts to go, everyone's hearts are going. But the problem with this is that what if this happens too early? What if regulation needs to now start being in the process around the world in order for the XRP price to be stable and for utility to actually run using the XRP ledger and on-demand liquidity? What if the court case ending isn't the thing that we need? What if that's the first step in the process, right? So the court case gets resolved. Now we need regulation, so we have to wait for regulation. What's that going to cause in the price? The price is going to go up, probably to a new all-time high. People are going to keep FOMOing, and then the price is going to crash right back down to who knows what level. And all of those people who are utility mindset only, like me, I'm not selling because of the utility of my assets. I'm now thinking, well, utility's not in play right now. After all of that, I thought utility would be in play, the price would go up, utility would be there, the price would have to be stable, but the price has come down. The problem with that is that this was a speculation push and there is no utility still, and we have to wait for the regulations to come through, who knows, weeks, months, hopefully not years later, where the regulations come through that give clarity to the big banks and they can start using on-demand liquidity. Then we see the utility pump, which would be more akin to a series of God candles just kind of going up. The problem with this strategy and holding on the whole time is that you've sacrificed your opportunity to take profits along the way and accumulate more when the price comes back down, right? You've sacrificed the ability to be able to get money in the short term to live on and enjoy. And so who knows how long you'll be waiting from this point, right? So let's say we get clarity and the price goes up. We could have sold a little bit, enjoyed it, gone on a holiday, been rewarded for all of the waiting that we've done. And then as it comes back down, anything else that we've got, we can just reapply into the market and wait for that utility pump. The problem is, when the price is going up, you can't know if it's a utility pump or not. There are signals that we might be able to look at, like if the chart is going like that, maybe that's speculation. And if the price goes up drastically without, like in a single candle, let's say, even if it's on like a 10-minute chart and the price just goes sky high in one vertical pump, that's likely to be utility, but you can't know it's utility until you see it's leveled off. This is the frustrating part of it all. We can't know what the pump looks like as it's happening. We can't know. So therefore, the strategy to exit is very, very cloudy. And you can fall either side of that, right? You can say, I want to take money out at the new all-time high, and I'm gonna take 10% out. That's completely fine. I actually want you, if you feel like you want to take profits, I want you to take profits. Because I'm trying not to preach to say hold on to the assets because they're the most valuable assets that have ever existed so far. I'm trying to resist pushing that on people because that's just the way I have planned in my head. I know I will feel regret and sadness if I see a speculation pump and the price comes back down, because it goes against really the strategy that I'm going for, and it just delays the gratification for that mentality. It sacrifices my short-term gain. The most important thing here is that you actually have a plan. And if you have the plan to take out 50% at new all-time high, please do it. Please do it. Because if that's your plan, you need to execute your plan. Don't let it get to $10 and then your plan was actually to sell 10% at $10 and you don't, and then it crashes back down to $1 and then you feel the regret. And you only feel the regret because you didn't follow through with your plan. If you execute your plan, the chances of feeling regret are greatly reduced. All I do want to say, from a very practical point of view, we're looking at XRP as the asset that will allow us the lifestyle. Not spending the asset, but using the asset, collateralizing it, giving custody of it to an entity that is regulated and insured in order to receive an interest payment. We see that Revolut are offering 11.56% on some cryptocurrencies. This is just the start. We know Santander are in discussions about custody and yield that is generated from that. We know that Barclays have basically bought Copper, which also do custodianship services. We know PolySign is a thing. What we need to ensure is that we understand that process enough that we have conviction over the coins that we want to leave. This is separate to the ones that you would potentially sell at certain price points to have fun and go to Disney with your family, whatever it is. You should be, in my opinion, I think people should be reserving a very specific amount of assets in XRP, XLM, whatever, because you'll be able to give custody of any of these to banks and get an interest yield from it. But I want people to be realizing that the ability to be able to create generational wealth is actually found in that reoccurring income that you get from using the assets, collateralized or whatever. That's the actual priority. The short-term gain of getting a Lambo or whatever, sure, that's nice, but I'm pretty sure a Lambo will be nice for the first 2 months, and then you'll get used to the Lambo, and you probably will wish after the Lambo that you had kept the money you spent on the Lambo in there, because it would have created continual growth of your assets in that interest yield, or at least a larger amount. And I think that should be the priority and mindset. But how much you sell on the way there is completely up to you. But like I said, you have to execute your plan if you have one. And there's no judgment from my side, right? Do whatever you want. I actually want you to do what you want to do, because that's, like I said, going to reduce your propensity to feel regret, and you're going to feel a lot happier at the end of the day if you've had a plan and executed that plan. And there's a lot more that we can go into on this. For example, the idea of collateralizing your XRP versus actually having a staking situation where you're getting an interest. Collateralizing your XRP gives you essentially tax-free credit, right? So all credit that operates right now is tax-free. So you're essentially getting a lump sum, a loan to value on your assets. And with that, let's say you've got 100 million in assets and you get a loan to value of 50%. You've basically been given $50 million tax-free that you can spend on whatever you want. I will say again, there's a lot more to this. If you're going to spend all of your loan to value on something, spend it on assets that will generate a passive income or a cash flow, because that cash flow pays off the loan. And when the loan is paid off, you're in the clear. You're just earning extra money now, and you did it all tax-free. So there are ways to collateralize that, and there will be ways to use your XRP in the custody of a regulated and insured entity to create that income month on month, which is not tax-free. That will be taxed. That monthly amount that you get in CBDC or whatever you get paid in, whatever the contract you've created has stipulated, you'll get taxed on that, right? But that's fine, because it's basically free money anyway, and you're just paying tax on free money. So that's fine. And then there's also the strategy where you could do both. You could take 20% off the top and get a loan to value on 20% and then buy cash flowing assets. And then you can use the rest of your XRP that's not collateralized to be the cash flow asset, to create that cash flow from the assets that you already hold and create the income that way. There'll be a million ways to do it. All depends on your risk tolerance, how comfortable you are with kind of navigating all of this. Many of you aren't comfortable with having your crypto with a bank. And that's completely fine, but there will be extra steps for you to figure out the best ways to secure your assets in a regulated environment, which is going to be difficult when you're working with blockchain, which is all decentralized and basically up to you to figure that out. There's a lot of technical people out there that can figure that out. For me, I probably lean on the side of the institutions wanting my money. Being able to regulate and insure my assets is a big bonus for me, but everyone's different. And that's just my leaning. Of course, it's always time to accumulate XRP, XLM, and XDC. And you can buy those 3 assets specifically on Uphold. That's where I buy those 3 tokens. So if you are interested in Uphold and you don't have an account already, go to the link in the description, register, and start getting your assets there. You'll be able to move them immediately over to Cold Storage Wallet, keep them secure, and get ready for that potential God candle. Let me know what you think about this video and the strategies that you're going to put in place, the plan that you have in place in the comments. I would love to see them. I do read all the comments, so please do that. Stay emotionless, and I'll see you in the next one.